So let me start here by patting myself on the back, and I apologize up front for doing it, but I told you all that Caitlin Clark was going to be the biggest thing in American sports. And I started saying this after her junior year at Iowa. This wasn't after she got to the WNBA. This is after her junior year. I was like, man, she's going to be the biggest deal in basketball. And then I started thinking, no, she's going to be the biggest deal in sports. And then I started saying, like, man, she's going to be like Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods. And here we are 2.5, 3 years later, and I don't sound nearly as crazy. I sound so rational that even the New York Times, via The Athletic, published a piece yesterday talking and comparing Caitlin Clark to Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, and Tiger Woods. They quoted a former high-ranking ESPN executive that I used to know very well, named John Kozner, who's been involved. He was involved with the NBA. He was involved with ESPN for a long time. He was one of David Stern's underlings with the NBA, and eventually a high-ranking executive at ESPN under John Skipper. This is his quote. In my lifetime, we had Muhammad Ali, we had Michael Jordan, we had Tiger Woods. And to me, it's early, but we have Caitlin Clark. People who don't care and don't follow the sport that she plays in have been driven not just to watch, but to watch avidly. So now the New York Times is saying what I've been telling you all for 2 years. Caitlin Clark, biggest deal in sports. The other thing that I told you all is that, and I said this very early on, as soon as she entered the WNBA a year ago, I was like, hey, man, they're going to treat her like she's Jackie Robinson. You remember what Jackie Robinson went through joining Major League Baseball, breaking the color barrier? That's what this is going to be like. Will it be life or death like it was for Jackie Robinson and the legitimate death threats he received? I was like, no. But in terms of everything else, yes, the mistreatment, the disrespect from peers, the hostility directed towards Caitlin Clark is at that Jackie Robinson level. I'm not saying death threats, but I'm saying in every other way. And yesterday, we got a prime example of this, of just how much hatred there is for her within the league. We've seen the hard fouls, we've seen all that, but the players get to vote for the WNBA All-Star game along with fans. The players get to rank, and the voting comes out, the ranking comes out of who gets ranked and such by the players, by the fans, and by the media. Caitlin Clark obviously dominating the fan voting, more than I think 1.3 million votes, some sort of record. But when it comes to the players ranking her, she finished 9th among guards. Her peers ranked her 9th among guards. And I've listened and heard people say, she's missed 5 or 6 games this year. She's not shooting that high of a percentage in her last 4 or 5 games. It's been a struggle. And I'm like, okay, I hear you. But if you're watching the WNBA and you're a player and you know the WNBA even more intimately than those of us that are just watching, but you read the scouting reports that your coach gives you. You watch how Caitlin Clark is defended at a level that I don't think we've seen in basketball maybe since Michael Jordan. And I'm not even sure if Michael Jordan was defended this way. They don't defend Caitlin Clark like she's the 9th best guard in the league. They defend Caitlin Clark like she is the greatest basketball player in the history of the WNBA. They pick her up 3/4 court. As soon as she gets to the top of the key and tries to turn the corner, she is immediately blitzed. The entire defense is set up to stop and disrupt Caitlin Clark. I don't need statistics to tell me Caitlin Clark is the best player in the WNBA. I don't need statistics to tell me she's the most dangerous player in the WNBA. All I have to do is watch how she's defended. Angel Reese, or not Angel Reese, A'ja Wilson, the alleged best player in the WNBA, doesn't face the kind of defensive pressure that Caitlin Clark does. Napheesa Collier, who is on her way to winning the MVP, and deservedly so, she doesn't get defended the way Caitlin Clark does. So I get it. Caitlin Clark is averaging nearly 6 turnovers a game, and Caitlin Clark is shooting a lower percentage than she did last year and a lower percentage than anyone expected. But she's facing a defensive pressure unprecedented and is creating opportunities for the rest of her teammates and team that's unbelievable. And so I say all that to say, I've told you where this thing was headed. I've been ahead of the conversation on Caitlin Clark the entire time. And I'm about to tell you the next thing that's even bigger than, hey, she's going to be the biggest star in all of sports. It's bigger than, hey, she's going to be treated like Jackie Robinson. I'm going to tell you about the cultural impact of Caitlin Clark and what it signifies. We've made this movie analogy for today, The Woman King, because she has slayed all the men in sports. She is the king of all sports. She's taken no athlete, no male athlete, no woman athlete, no one has ever taken a league and put the entire league on their back. A league that's anchored, a league that for 30 straight years has lost millions of dollars, a league that just, was it 2 years ago in 2023, the top vote getter for the WNBA All-Star game, I believe, was A'ja Wilson at like 95,000 votes. The top vote getter for the WNBA All-Star game among fans just 2 years ago was A'ja Wilson at 95,000 votes. Caitlin Clark's got 1.3 million. Napheesa Collier has 1.1 million, 1.2 million. Caitlin Clark's teammate, Aaliyah Boston, has 1 million votes. Just 2 years ago, the top vote getter got 95,000 votes. Caitlin Clark has made this league relevant and has blessed the entire league, brought all of these women what they said they wanted, attention. We've never seen that. This is bigger than what Tiger Woods did for the PGA Tour. This is bigger than what Michael Jordan did for the NBA. This is bigger than what Magic and Larry did for the NBA. This is unprecedented. The biggest star in American sports is a woman, Caitlin Clark. And some of you are like, man, Whitlock, you're pretty hard on feminists, and the WNBA is a feminist league, and I can't believe how much you talk about the WNBA. Why do you keep talking about this woman? Doesn't it violate all your values? No, it doesn't. And I'm going to explain to you why. Because what Caitlin Clark represents is bigger than feminism. It's actually a reflection of our values. And I'm talking about those of us that have a biblical worldview, those of us that believe in male leadership, those of us that believe in the patriarchy. We have put Caitlin Clark at the top of the food chain. This is bigger than Caitlin Clark. You know, Caitlin Clark is kind of lukewarm as it relates to reflecting all of her biblical values. She kissed the ring and bowed to the feminists, the black queens in the WNBA because she felt like, hey, I got to relieve some of this stress. She's not a man. She's not built for war. She's not built for this level of conflict. But she's done well. She's held her own. She's held on to those values. And that's what's driving the interest in Caitlin Clark. I'm not quite done yet. I'm about to really go there. But I just want to spell out the importance of Caitlin Clark and spell out the failure of men. Everything that Caitlin Clark is accomplishing, a man could have done. A man could do. A man could steal her thunder, knock her off the throne. But we want to sit around and talk about, hey, Caitlin Clark bent the knee and I'm going to jump off her a little bit. It irritated me. How about all these guys, all these men in sports? They didn't just bend the knee, they bent over. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a moment of Fearless.